This horrifying tragedy began on Robin's 11th birthday. On a day that was supposed to be full of happiness, an unimaginable event occurred instead. Robin slaughtered everyone present at his birthday party, including his own mother. However, at the very last second, Aiden, Robin's father, who turned out to be still alive, appeared and shot Robin to death. 34 years later, Aiden returned to his old house, where the tragedy had taken place. Overwhelmed by a sense of loss and loneliness, Aiden created a humanoid robot he named Robin, just like the name of his deceased son. But ever since the robot's arrival, strange occurrences began to haunt the house. The first oddity happened to Smokey, Aiden's pet cat, who suddenly disappeared. Sometime later, Freya, Aiden's housekeeper, found Smokey dead in a gruesome condition. Since then, an uneasy feeling began to envelop Freya. Not long after, a man named Leo arrived with his fiancée, Lexi. Leo claimed to be Aiden's nephew who had long lost contact. Unfortunately, Aiden did not remember Leo at all. A car accident 2 years ago had wiped out his entire memory of the past. Even so, Aiden still welcomed them warmly. However, from the moment he set foot in the house, Leo felt something was amiss. He felt constantly watched. Time and again he looked around, but never found anyone. Not only that, Aiden's change in attitude also felt odd. Aiden used to be known as stiff and stingy. Now he had become a warm figure, even offering his house as the venue for Leo and Lexi's wedding party. When Leo expressed his astonishment, Aiden said he regretted if he had ever behaved badly in the past. He hoped their relationship could improve again. Aiden then introduced the robot Robin and showed off its ability to move places mysteriously. Freya looked very uncomfortable and hoped Aiden wouldn't show that side of Robin, but Aiden only got more excited. As expected, Leo and Lexi were truly shocked. Satisfied with showing off Robin, Aiden excused himself to sleep, as did Lexi, who went straight to her room. Only Freya and Leo remained in the room. That was when Leo asked how Robin could move places like that, but Freya's answer made no sense. Freya admitted that since working in that house, she had felt many oddities. According to her, Robin was not just a robot. She was convinced there was something evil and invisible controlling Robin's body. Freya had suggested that Aiden open himself up to others so as not to be lonely. But Aiden refused. For him, he already had Robin, Leo, Lexi, and Freya, whom he considered his own children. Hearing Aiden's answer, Freya could only sigh. That night, Freya prepared to go home. She ordered a taxi, turned off the warehouse lights, and went out. But not long after, the warehouse lights flickered strangely again. Feeling something was wrong, Freya gathered the courage to go back inside, carrying a hammer just in case. However, after checking every corner of the room, she found absolutely nothing. Just as she breathed a sigh of relief, Robin suddenly appeared and slashed a knife at her. Unable to call for help, Freya died tragically after her body was stabbed repeatedly by Robin. The next morning, Aiden waited for Freya, who never arrived. Leo came downstairs and started discussing their bad past. He called Aiden stingy and brought up the subject of a money safe. Aiden denied it. Although his memories from before the accident were erased, Aiden was certain he did not own a money safe at all. Aiden walked towards Robin and realized there was a bloodstain on Robin's face. He immediately panicked and took Robin to the attic. Convinced that Robin had hurt Freya, Aiden was furious. He removed Robin's battery and left him there. However, after Aiden left, Robin came back to life, as if he truly possessed a soul. That night, after everyone was asleep, Leo secretly searched for Aiden's safe. It turned out his only reason for coming to the house was money. Leo was in debt, and the people who lent him money threatened to hurt Lexi if he didn't pay it off immediately. Unbeknownst to them, Robin was secretly watching Lexi in her room and intended to hurt her. Luckily, Lexi woke up due to a nightmare. Leo, hearing Lexi scream, rushed over to calm her down, while Robin immediately vanished. The next day, Aiden was surprised because Robin was no longer in the attic. He found the robot in another room, standing in front of a mirror and alive without a battery. This made Aiden shocked and unable to believe what he saw. He sank into his feelings and started drinking alcohol until he got drunk. On the other hand, Lexi was annoyed because Leo wasn't focused on preparing for their wedding. When Lexi demanded an explanation, Leo admitted that he constantly felt watched in the house, as if someone was standing in the hallway. But Lexi didn't believe him. Leo coaxed Lexi and convinced the woman that he truly wanted their marriage. Actually, Leo was running out of time and had to find the safe immediately, so all his problems would be solved. That night, Leo was continuing his action when he found a box containing toys and clothes labeled with the name Robin Rutherford. Leo felt a slight strangeness when reading that name, but because he still had another goal, he decided to leave. As he closed the box, Leo was startled because Robin was suddenly in front of him. But that was only for a moment because Aiden turned out to be behind him, which made Leo feel slightly relieved. Aiden finally opened up about his past. He used to work on developing innovative weapons. He and his team managed to create a kind of prototype that had the ability to think, feel, and do whatever it was commanded. After the accident he experienced, Aiden continued his plan and created a robot exactly like the one he saw in the photo. However, he admitted he didn't yet know the extent of his creation's potential. Leo was suspicious and asked if Aiden had a child, and the man admitted it. Unfortunately, he didn't remember anything about his child or family after the accident. He only had the photo and the toys in that box, which were the only proof that Robin had ever existed. Aiden felt lucky and grateful to have survived the accident, but he also felt like a failed father and husband to his child and wife. He felt a sense of loss, as if something had been snatched away from him. Aiden admitted he never knew the truth behind Robin's death. Many versions circulated, but they all seemed illogical to him. However, he was convinced that the truth had been tightly hidden from him. He felt terrible, and through the robot, Aiden could feel Robin's presence again. He even believed that his son's spirit was inside the robot's body. Although Leo didn't believe it, Aiden was sure his son was still alive, and for him, that was what mattered most. The next day, 2 police officers came to Aiden's house to investigate Freya's disappearance, following a report from Sam, Freya's older brother. According to Sam, Freya hadn't arrived home since a few days ago. The taxi driver Freya had booked also claimed that the girl never appeared at the pickup point. He even waited for 15 minutes, but Freya never came, and Freya's last location was Aiden's house. However, Aiden denied that Freya was in the house. After the 2 police officers left, Sam sneaked up to Aiden's house. He tried calling his sister and heard her phone ringing from the direction of the warehouse. He followed the source of the sound and found Freya's lifeless body. Sam rushed to call the emergency number, but before he could speak, Robin had already killed him. After killing Sam, Robin returned to the front of the fireplace. He was sitting in his usual spot when Aiden came and told him to be honest about whether he had hurt Freya. But Robin lied and carved the word "no" on the table using scissors. Leo, who saw the incident, began investigating the truth and searching for information on the internet. He found a witness to the tragedy 34 years ago named Peter. From there, Leo learned the truth about that day's tragedy and the reason Robin did it. He was often punished and tortured by his mother for being caught lying. However, one thing remained a mystery: the reason Robin didn't kill Peter. On the other hand, Lexi finally found out about Leo's debt and the reason they came to that house. Although she was initially angry, she finally decided to help. That night, Lexi gave Aiden tea laced with sleeping pills so they could carry out their plan peacefully. However, the 2 police officers from the day before returned because of the disconnected emergency call from Sam at that house. They knocked on the door, but since there was no answer, both decided to check the surroundings. The policewoman checked the warehouse and heard a noise. She called out to Freya and Sam, but there was no answer. However, upon inspection, she found nothing but the robot Robin standing at the edge of the room. Curious, the policewoman observed Robin, unaware of the danger threatening her life. When her guard was down, Robin stabbed her with a sharp iron rod and connected her to an electric current. Inevitably, the policewoman lost her life tragically. Her partner, who was still outside, tried to contact her, but got no response. The male officer took the initiative to check the warehouse and was shocked to see his partner already dead. Before he could do anything, he was stabbed from behind and collapsed. Robin didn't stop there. He took a welding tool and burned the police officer's face without mercy. Meanwhile, Leo and Lexi found a secret door leading to the basement, but after searching, they still couldn't find the safe. As they were about to search further, Lexi heard a noise from the next room. Curious, she tried to check and saw Robin staring sharply at her. Lexi ran in fear, while Robin continued to chase and try to hurt her. Luckily, Leo managed to save her, and they finally found the safe they were looking for. Unfortunately, the safe turned out to be empty. Lexi screamed in despair. All their efforts were in vain, plus their lives were now in danger. But Leo calmed her down and promised to get Lexi out of that place. Suddenly, a piece of iron bar pierced Lexi's neck. She died instantly, leaving Leo devastated. He managed to injure Robin's face but didn't notice that Robin was about to attack him. He fell unconscious. When he regained consciousness, Leo was in a chair, tied up. He asked what Robin wanted. It turned out Robin wanted him to be honest. At first, Leo still tried to lie, but when his body was pierced by nails shot by Robin, Leo finally gave up and confessed that he had no blood relation to Aiden. Previously, he was the gardener at the house before the accident happened. He had heard Aiden talking about a safe and finally decided to pose as Aiden's nephew because he needed money to pay off his debts. Unfortunately, even though he had been honest, Robin still didn't let him go and intended to finish him off. However, Leo managed to untie himself at the last second and attacked Robin. When he was about to destroy the robot, suddenly the sound of gunshots was heard, causing Leo to fall face down. 3 shots, and Leo died on the spot. Aiden stood in the doorway with a weapon in his hand. Shortly after that, Aiden made a new face for Robin, replacing the old face damaged by Leo. Aiden was happy because Robin was back to how he was before. He said welcome back to his son. When it all ended, only one thing remained: a father and his son who had come back to life. Is Robin really the spirit of Aiden's son, or just a machine that learned to lie like a human? Write your opinions in the comments column. If you like horror movie storylines like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because there are still many dark stories that we will uncover together.